Okay. Thanks for joining the new one, whoever you are. Something got screwed up. I'm still figuring out a lot of this streaming stuff, so I don't want it to be too big of a distraction. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, so I'll keep trying. I don't know if the stream got cut off after an hour, or if just like data stopped uploading from my machine, or what happened. It's a Matt. Thanks for rejoining. I think when I left the computer versus computer game running, it was using too much bandwidth or something. I'll figure it all out though. Okay. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and do one more thing to try. I think that level has a bunch of tiles that aren't being used, and so it has to do a bunch more work than a normal level. Yeah, my tubes were totally clogged. Clog tube. My tubes were completely clogged. All right. Let's open up Field Forge again. So what I want to do is I want to build. I mentioned it right before the break. I want to build a feature that lets me select all of the tiles that have like a particular trait, because I don't want to go through here and select like every single one. Uh, so that way it'll just be a button down here like select all where navigation is blocked or something like that, and see if it can select all of them for me. Oh yeah, these are my camera anchors too. That was maybe not helping anything. But I'm gonna have to reset the camera anchors anyway, and I need to redo how camera anchors work generally. So we can work on that too if we have time. So let me go back to this guy here, and let's add, boy, we might need to, I need to break out this method into more methods at some point. Oh, it is nasty. Okay, but we'll just do more copy paste for now. So let's call this like special selection, expanded. Just call the box selection. Oh wait, no, that's not, I want this to be called selection here. And then the first button will just be select all is navigation blocked. And how can I've never actually done programmatic selection before, but I think I can, there's probably an API here in Unity. Turns the actual, let me just try to type selection and see what pops up. There's probably something interesting. Selection dot I didn't see anything in there. Let me Google this real quick. Is the camera fixed or can you look around? Like when an actual match is running? The so far I originally had a code, and it's probably still in there, but it's just disabled, where you could rotate by 90 degrees to look from each of the four corners, similar to Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that. But I was replaying some of that game on iPad recently with touch controls, or not recently, this was a while ago, I guess like a year ago. And I found myself spending probably at least a third of the time playing the game, just manipulating the camera. And uh, it wasn't like it was pretty boring and it's not what I wanted. And so what I'm trying to do is have yeah, fixed camera with like fixed level design. So there's sort of like unspoken rules where tiles that are in the back need to be higher than tiles that are in the front. And that way you never have to move the camera around. So you can, the only thing that you do with the camera is just pan it around to explore the field and look around. And it's a lot more like touchscreen friendly, I think, and you can actually just sit and play the game instead of worrying about the camera. So that like that's one thing I took out. I also took out the step where you're like you choose your facing at the end. And I did that for a similar reason where it's just like it's one extra step and it does matter in the game. But I thought for a football game, it's kind of cool because when you're carrying the ball, so it's hard to see here, but like there's one goal zone up here on one wing and the other goal zone is down here. So if you're carrying the ball and you're going as fast as you can to your goal zone, your back is going to be exposed, which will make it more likely that you'll fumble the ball. And so you kind of have to take on that risk. Like I don't let you move as far as you want this way and then turn your facing back around. Like if you're going to the goal zone, you have to go. So I took that step out too, and it streamlines the game in my opinion compared to like some of those older tactics games. Fire Emblem doesn't have facing or anything like that, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it also doesn't have camera movement. So I'm kind of trying to like take inspiration from more the Nintendo side of things and make it easy to play, fun to play. Oh, I was googling selection APIs. Select Unity programmatic. Let me just do programmatic selection. Oh, event system. Current set selected game object. That's within the game. We can do editor, programmatic selection. Here we go. Nope, that didn't give me what I wanted. How to select a game object by script in editor mode. Selection.active game object. Okay. Can I do multiple? Hmm. Let me try multiple programmatic multiple selection. Selection.objects. Is that a thing? Objects. Looks like a thing. Okay, let's see if that works. Let me go through. Could do current field forge dot select navigation blocked. I can get rid of that log. Okay, let's create a list. Game objects. Name var. Let's see. Navigation blocked. List. Equals a new list. And then let's see. I say if tile dot is navigation blocked. But I can probably do something kind of cool here in a minute to make this much more generic. If tile dot is navigation blocked, then navigation block list dot add the tileforge dot game object. And then at the end of this loop, I should be able to do selection dot objects equals navigation block list. Oh, it doesn't like that. Always using Unity editor. What happened? Why doesn't, oh, I see. I was on the wrong line. Is that an array? Yeah. Okay, let's see if this works. Perfect. Because now what I can do is I can mark these as inactive and make them go away. GUI error, invalid GUI layout state in view. Verify that all begin and calls match. Ah. Okay, so that worked. Something I can do is select matching and then have this pass a function. Now is it out t result? What is it? I wanted to return a Boolean, but take in a tile. Is that right? Oh, in is first. So take in a tile, return a Boolean. And then, yeah, this will be like a predicate. So I can pass in any kind of like function in line saying if the tile matches this, then add it to the selection list to make this much more generic. So selection list. If predicate tile matches, then add it to the selection. And then here, I can take in the tile and just return tile that is navigation blocked for the specific button. And then I can do another one here where I say, let's do like top color matches. And then let me do like a horizontal box here. I think this is how this works. Because then I can do like a field. I don't want it to be a property field. How can I just do like a number field, color field, delayed float field? What's that? I think I just want a float field. And then it'll match the. Where are those other private fields that I had set up? Let me move these to the top. So I can do private float. Let me add two. So there will be a top. Oh no, I actually don't want it to be a top. Float, it needs to be an int. So matching top index and then matching side index. This all makes sense in a second. This will allow me to like select all of the tiles that have a particular color set similar to what I just did. And I want this to be an int field. Matching top index. So I set that first. Blocking index top equals matching top index. I'm not even going to test this before I put in the other one. I feel confident. Let's see if this works. What is that text scrolling at the bottom of the screen? Are you so there's the text with like the black background that's showing the music. I assume you're not talking about that, and you're talking about this terminal here. This is just like output of Visual Studio Code as I do things, and it'll show warnings and stuff. Honestly, I just ignore it. Game chops. Oh yeah, that's a. There should be music that you can hear in the background, and that's the current song that's playing. I'm giving credit because it's all Creative Commons licensed. I'll turn it up a little bit, so you should be able to hear it. If you can't hear it. Jade Catacombs. Yeah, that's the name of the song. Oh, you can't hear it. Hmm. I'll turn it up more. Let me know if you can hear it now. It's very quiet. Maybe I turned it down too much. I'm trying to get the levels right, Matt. You gotta help me. There's supposed to be music. Okay, is that level good? Is the mix good? I don't want it to overpower my voice. You can hear it. Okay, let me know if it's not right for whatever reason. Okay. See, here we go. Select all top color matches. So with 0, if I do this, it'll select all these blue ones in the middle. If I change this to a 5 and then select all, it'll select all the white ones. This is really nice. And then does the side work? So if I do like 7, we'll just get the beak. That is pretty cool. And then I don't have any orange. What happens if I select none? Yeah, cool. That's great. It's not louder than you though, so that's good. Okay, I'll leave it here. I listened to my YouTube stream the other day, and the music was like way loud. At least I thought it was. I thought it was distracting, so I turned it down before the stream today without testing it out. And I thought it would work, but it didn't. All right, cool. So that all looks pretty good. Definitely looks like a bird now. So something we can do is mess with like the lighting and the background colors. So there's sort of like a gradient along the background. And I'm trying to think of what I would like for this to be. Probably like a very yellow light. Or like a slightly yellow light. And then what kind of rotation do we want? I think 90 is top down. But we could go for more of like a side angle. Something like that. So let's try that. Oh, I got another one of these. Okay, I really need to... Again, folder. Oh no, that's right. That's all right. I need to refactor those into individual methods so it's actually a little bit easier to handle, but I want to switch back and test this out so we can start to get a sense without the extra tiles. And I'm going to, just so the computer doesn't like spiral out of control, again, I'm gonna play as one of the teams. Oh, you know what? We have to do one more thing. I broke something. I should have validated the field. I used to have validation as part of the loading step. Should probably put it back. But you know what, I also think that, I'm not sure this is how I want it to work anyway, but let me just get this in for now. So basically, what I need to do here is set up some camera anchors so the camera can understand, oh yeah, it's not even going to let me do it this way. I really need to change how that works. Oh, there weren't any warnings that time. That's good. But I think the camera should just work based off of like what the min and max coordinates are. I don't know why I didn't do that. It was maybe because of the height. You need to like know what the height of the tile is. But I could detect that programmatically too. Yeah, so now you can see there's like this gradient in the background instead of those other tiles. This actually looks really hard, pretty nice. I didn't think it would look that nice right away. And so what I'm picturing is that you'll be able to see sort of like maybe some like a rainbow in the background and rain falling down underneath it. And there's the ball up on its beak. Yeah, the camera's having a hard time coming all the way over here. I'm not going to try to fix that right now. I need to think about how I want to do that system. The other thing, I want to put some nicer effects on the goal zones so that they're like very clearly where you need to be. Okay, there's something totally random we can switch to for a little bit, which was, I'm going to put both teams on human, which was that, so I implemented this new ability called bomb for the thrower, and it does not work on this field, or it didn't the other day. Oh, I need to give her the ability back. Something else, over the weekend I attempted to, so this project is really old, and I attempted to migrate it from Unity's built-in render pipeline to the universal rendering pipeline. And so that's one thing I changed. The other thing I changed, though, that I've started playing with a little bit, just because I feel like it's kind of hard to I feel like the screenshots and videos of the game haven't been getting quite as much attention as I was hoping. And like marketing wise and on Steam, it's going fine. It's totally going fine. But I feel like the orthographic look was looking a little dated. And so I'm experimenting with actually using a perspective camera instead, just to give a little extra depth. And then I also started playing around with some post-processing effects, which I don't have implemented here at all. I took them out for the stream, but you know, doing some like depth of field far in the background, kind of like some of the more modern games of this style are doing, and it looks kind of interesting. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on orthographic versus perspective and some of these like camera movements, that would be great to hear. I think it looks a little bit more modern, a little bit more catching, with just a touch of perspective. All right. I can see the game kind of slowing down a little bit. I'm not sure why. All right, I'm gonna give the ball to the thrower. It's actually her turn. And the bomb ability, maybe it is working correctly, but that's definitely not how I expected it to work here. So I'm gonna just do a quick save of this so we can debug it. Let me go look at the range code for that bomb ability range. This is no longer right. The idea is that it creates a straight line that is 3 tiles wide out in front of the thrower, or the ball holder, I guess. This is supposed to be the minimum number of tiles. Yeah, it looks like a PS1 game. Good, that's exactly, yeah, it's supposed to. That's exactly what I'm going for. Hello. Somebody new to the chat. Tametani Kyoko, welcome. How are you? Thanks for joining. My name is John. We're just fixing a bug right now. We're trying to fix a bug, or I don't know if it's actually a bug or if it's just a misunderstanding for one of the abilities in the game. Yep, you got it. I'm trying to dial the background music in. Another listener said it was too quiet. Okay, let me know if that's better. I can go a little further. Okay, now let me know if that's better. Yeah, I had it. I just started streaming like a week or two ago, so I'm all new to this. I really appreciate the feedback. If anything else needs to be changed, let me know. But on Friday, I did a stream and the music was definitely way too loud, and so I turned it down. And then on the stream today, somebody said they couldn't hear it, and they were wondering why I have text scrolling across the bottom. Okay, so the idea behind this is that there should be sort of a gap. Let me pull this back up here, and I have a quick load feature. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, so here's the ability. It's called Bomb. And it is highlighting these tiles right here, but the range is really low. So I think we had, the idea was that the higher up the thrower is, the further she should be able to throw it. But there should at least be like a minimum of like a minimum range of 3 or something like that, that whenever this starts, it should be able to go further. So there should be a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3, so that's right. But then this isn't going where I want it to. So there's something about the height bonus and the min range that's not right. You can't help with my games. Oh yeah, what are you a game developer? If you are, what engine are you using? Visual novel dev, cool, awesome. Have you made any games that I would have heard of? RenPy, that's the only engine. Okay, I haven't heard of that. I haven't. I'm not a huge player of visual novels myself. I have some friends that are though. One of them might be on the chat on a different streaming service. So let's see here. This is where we should have a height bonus. and it's going to be at least 0 or the height bonus, and then otherwise this should be min range, and then as it goes out, those should be added. So what did I set the min range to here? Should be 3. Let me double this and just like see if it goes further. Thanks for the follow, by the way. Tommy, I appreciate that. Yeah, so that went further. Oh, it's because I'm not adding on the gap. So what I need to do, here, let me put this back. So I'm just going from 0 to this. So it's like actually, yeah, I'm like continuing through the gap. Which means that this needs to be gap plus min range plus height bonus. Yeah, for those on the stream, so I'm trying something out new today that a lot of people are probably familiar with, but it's called Restream, and it basically lets me stream once, and then that stream is going to both YouTube and to Twitch. And so I have a single combined chat, so I can see everybody's chats, but you all can't see everybody's chats. And so my goal for next time is to have that fixed and have it showing up, like the combined chat log show up actually on the visual itself, which I know how to do. I just had already spent some time this morning getting just the restream stuff working, and I wanted to get to work on the game because my time is limited. So next time I'll hopefully have that, so that'll hopefully bring a slightly better community feel. But in the meantime, I'll just try to read out the questions so you at least know what I'm saying. And yeah, welcome to the chat. I'd appreciate a yeah, exactly. I need a single chat widget, which there is one. I can at least put a browser up here that has I think the full thing. Do you guys want me? I mean, I can try right now if it's interesting. I don't know how well this will work. I can try it. Let me see if I fix the bug first. But I was going to say, yeah, I appreciate everyone being here. And if you want to follow or subscribe, like on YouTube, super, super helpful. So I'm trying to get the community around the game built up. Okay, so this is also still broken. So I can't just add the gap. I think. Unless I'm getting a height bonus. Maybe the height bonus is actually correct. Yeah, so I guess if the height of the tile that she is on is 3, then that's actually right. Yeah, Matt gets it now. Yeah, Matt, you're welcome to keep chatting in YouTube if you want. Like, only people that are on YouTube will see it for now. Okay, so that goes pretty far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this must be a height of 3. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. But if I move down where it's the lower tile and I do bomb, oh, that's still doing 3. I guess it's because it's a minimum of 3. Hang on, still buggy, still a bug. So I start at 0, so where am I starting from? I'm starting from the tile where the thrower is from. And I get the next tile. If I is less than the gap, then I keep going. So in this case, the gap is 3. And then past that, I should have a min range, which is also going to be 3. And then my height bonus. So right here, my gap should be... If the min range is 3, I exclude that from any height bonus and then max it out at 0 if it goes negative. Let me just put in debug here to make sure I understand what the height is of the tile. Height is 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so height is 4. The min range is 3, so then height bonus is going to become 1. And then I do 3 plus 3 plus 1. Should be 7. So that's why I'm getting 6. Okay, that I guess makes sense. Okay, let's move it down here. And then height here is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm still getting 6. So when she goes down to 2, she shouldn't be able to throw as far. So if it's 2, so total height is 2, and min range is 3. So height bonus should be -1, which will mean height bonus goes back up to 0 here. So it should be 3. Oh, 3 plus 3, which is 6, plus the height bonus is 0. So it should just be while I is less than 6 out in front. But it's highlighting these two. It shouldn't be highlighting that last row. Why is it always getting 6? Let me reduce the bonus, or like the min range. Let me do both at like 2 and see if this math still works out the same. I'm really confused by why that's not working. Okay, so there's a gap of 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, because the height is 4. Okay, and then if I move down, yeah, now it's lower. So that's working correctly. I think it's like this is getting double added, probably because of this offset I put in right here. Still kind of confusing. I really need to nail down how I want it to work. Okay, now I just changed it back to 3 and 3, didn't I? And now it's only highlighting 4. Oh, did I remove the gap? No, I left the gap. Why is it behaving different? Maybe it wasn't picking up my changes? So there's a minimum gap of 3. My height is 4 and a min range of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then my height bonus adds an extra 1. So that's correct. And then she's lower, and now it's only targeting 3. Yeah, this is exactly how I want it to work. I didn't change anything. So I'm just going to assume that it didn't pick up my changes, I guess. There was something. Let me take this back out. It's the second time that's happened today. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, let me try tweaking those values and make sure everything still works right. So let's say the gap is 2 and the min range is 4. Let's see how this works out. So gap is 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that looks good. And gap is 2, min range is 4. Cool. That's not what I want it back on 3 and 3, I think, but it's good to know that that is actually working correctly now. I think it was just that I didn't have the gap added here, so I think not having that, I must not have saved that change somehow, and it wasn't picking up on it, which happens sometimes with VS Code. So let's test this a little bit more. We can move the thrower up into the hills a little bit higher and see the range increase. So if I go from here, gap of 3, and then I get the 1 height bonus. If I move her up here, do a bomb, then it's a gap of 3, and then she can throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is right. So here's the rewind feature. You can go back in time. So if I want to do that again, I can just go back here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, this is only 4.5 height because it's sloped, so it's only 4. But let's just end all the turns and get her up even higher. So if she tries to throw from here, there's a gap of 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, this is working how I want it to. I kind of like that. It gives an incentive to get your throwers up high, kind of like archers have an advantage in Final Fantasy Tactics when you get them up high. I wanted to have something similar, so when you're trying to throw the ball, you can throw it further if you're up higher, which is kind of cool. But nobody's over there. Let's move somebody over. So we have to pay off. Move the game breaker over. All right. Cool. Now she can come down. All right, cool. I'm about to wrap up the stream. I really appreciate everyone joining. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback before I leave. I'll hang out for another minute. Just anything you want to chat about. But it's been pretty fun. I'm going to keep streaming usually on Mondays and Fridays. This week it might be on Thursday instead. But I'll try to start also posting a schedule ahead of time so that y'all are aware of when I'm going to be streaming. And I will also try to get the combined chat onto the video feed so that everybody can see what everybody's talking about. Yeah, it was great, Hank. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining. And yeah, remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really appreciate your time hanging out and checking out the game. I haven't even talked about the game. It's called Fantasy Football Tactics, and it's available to wishlist on Steam. It'll also be coming to iOS and Android, all three, and Mac as well. So PC, Mac, iOS, and Android coming out next year. If the stars align and I can actually keep making good progress. But yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you all have a great week, and I will hopefully see you later this week. Thanks and take care.